So we were having this conversation yesterday about, Dave Chappelle against the Yellow Springs, Ohio affordable housing thing that was presented, uh, by I guess by the local government there, and a lot of us here agree. I live in Baltimore, and I work with a lot of young people primarily that come from low income housing and public housing and things like that. And the younger athletes, they don't really understand a lot of the stuff as to why what's going on there. But some of the older ones, the one that's like 21, 22, that grew up in our boxing program, that actually went on to college and and did other things, they completely understand where Dave Chappelle is coming from. And the first thing that came to mind in everybody's mind as to why he wouldn't want something like that in his community is a high crime. Every last one of them said crime. That's why he doesn't want low income housing in the community. And of course, there are lots of ways that one can say, some of the excuses that may come up is like, well, there's not enough supports in place to support low income environment. Um, uh, some of the things that came up was like water management and utilities management and things like that. And although those things are um, viable arguments, the reality is crime. With low income environments come a significant amount of crime. And that's just the reality of it. I live in it. Um, just on my block, they have, they're starting to revitalize the community. And a couple houses on my block sold for $300,000 last year. And the house right behind there, on the other side of this wall, is a townhouse. Um, they're renovating that now, and that's going to go on the market for 325,000 roughly, because pandemic, for some reason housing is going up. People in New York moving here to Baltimore because houses are cheaper here, and they're getting way more property here than they would in New York for the same price. So you know here they're developing houses like that, but over the past 15 years, a lot of low income housing came into this community, and along with it, crime rate went up significantly. And that's not no joke, that's not no anecdotal stuff, it is the reality. Wherever there's low income housing, crime goes up, a lot of drugs go up, drug sales, and with the drugs, with guys hanging on the corner and whatnot, crime go up. Just 2 weeks ago, there was a shooting 1 block away from me. 2 days before that, there was another shooting half a block from me, where I live. And that's constantly increasing. Just last week, someone was cutting the catalytic converter off my SUV. They got away with one before I could chase them off. You know, so the reality is, and how we look at it is, damn, Dave Chappelle have millions of dollars. Affluent people don't want low income people living next to them because it comes with crime. When you move a community of low income people from one community to another, nothing changes as far as mindset. If you move maybe one family or two, maybe three at the most, into an environment like where Dave Chappelle is, um, yeah, I could see that being manageable. But when you have an entire community moving into an environment like that, you're basically moving an entire community of crime into that environment. Like it or not, you can call me whatever you want. That's the reality we live in. And because these people that can afford the low income housing, their their family members cannot afford that. And along with them come those particular family members that's the ones that cause most of the problems for everyone, including the members that's buying these homes. And for some reason, these members who are able to afford a home that's low income, like to actually purchase a house, they do not have the heart to turn away members of their family who really don't give a damn about their own lives, much less the life of the person that's buying a house in an environment like where Dave Chappelle would be, or even an environment like I live in. The crime is just rampant, and the negative effects do affect people like myself who actually, by the way, have family members that live that lifestyle, that street lifestyle, that low income mindset. And I don't even have them around me because they destroy everything that's around them just by their way they think. It comes with a significant amount of crime. It's very toxic to the environment when the mindset remains the same. And some of these cats, they're really good people. A couple of my athletes who I trained from middle school all the way up to like high school, as they go into the high school, that mindset kicked in and they started hanging with the wrong crowd and stuff. It's not like they're bad people. I could call any one of them today and they'll come here and help me do some things around the house and things like that, right? But they live that crime lifestyle. They're in the streets selling drugs. Some of them are even using drugs. I have one athlete right now on the corner. Every time I drive to go to the youth program, he's there, windshield washing and things like that. It's and that's what he does. And when he can't make it there, he will try to rob somebody. You know, they won't rob me because they know me and they grew up around me. But what about a person they don't know? They rob those people. They break into their houses. I have another athlete comes from a really nice, really good family. His father is in the military. I don't really know much about his mother, but he grew up with his grandmother, but low income environment. Uh, Start hanging out with his cousins. He's rotting in jail as we speak for burglary because one of his friends, his cousin's friends, who was the driver, was sitting in the vehicle, a stolen vehicle at that, have a ankle bracelet on his foot while they're inside burglarizing a house. He ran over and killed a police officer while they were committing a crime. He's rotting in jail for 30 years because of that. Again, low income environment, low income mindset. And he got caught up in that. Guy was brilliant, real nice cat. Came to my house, helped me around the house. I took him home every night from the gym on the way home. So it's not like they're not nice people. They choose to do some things, live in a mindset of a don't care mindset that has brought along a lot of crime. So, I mean, that is from my perspective. What do you guys think about the crime, or your thoughts on why Dave Chappelle would not want low income housing or income affordable housing in the community where he lives? Do you think it's strictly an investment perspective, um, where he has property, purchased a lot of land and whatnot, and or if it's a crime, because his property value will drop the moment a community of low income or affordable housing is developed and people actually move into that environment. A lot of the property value will drop. That's just a reality. There's no way around that. And for a cat with that much money, um, I support him in his process as far as not wanting low income um, people in where he lives. The reason that he gives is political, obviously. But what do you think? Do you think it's because of crime that comes with it? People be robbing him, trying to rob him in the middle of the night. The safety of his community will diminish, or he's just being a jerk. I personally support his stance on that, especially if you have millions of dollars invested. I work with a lot of youths. That's my passion. That's my votive to really work with your low income youths and try and guide them so they can be better than me. So I'm not really against that. I certainly not against living because I obviously live in an environment that's surrounded by low income housing, but I also live with the crimes that's that's around here. And although I might be able to put it up because I don't have a whole lot of money invested in this neighborhood except for my house and a couple vacant lots. But um, if you had Dave Chappelle money, would you want to live in an environment where you're surrounded by affordable housing? What are your thoughts? Like, subscribe, ask questions in the comment section down below. Y'all have a good day.